What's up, guys? This is your boy, the Average Gamer 98 over here, back with another video for Injustice 2 Mobile. And in this video, we are gonna actually test out Raven as well as Mr. Freeze and see how the damage is kind of coming up. So to begin off, like my Mr. Freeze as well as Black Manta is kind of almost at similar level here. And although Mr. Freeze isn't ideal to face in this particular situation, we are gonna compare. That was bad. We are going to compare it with the Dark Metal Cards artifact, not with the Breather Club, just to see the free-to-play damage in a way. And basically, we would be comparing in a different scenario as well. So I'll explain it as we progress through this video here. So here we are not getting any lethal damage because Raven is, immune to lethal. But Brainiac is there to grant higher attack, 100% higher attack for Black Manta. And that 100% is from the base, which is roughly giving me around 2000 odd additional attack. And the reason why Brainiac is there in this particular team is just to grant that. And my Black Manta stats is lower than Mr. Freeze, so I want to keep it almost at par with what we are getting for Black Manta and Mr. Freeze. And the comparison that we're going to do is with the basic hits alone, not with the full one, because I completely messed up the Mr. Freeze flip, whatever. So just to get an idea of how much damage we are doing. So here what we are seeing is around 530k damage with the swipes and 265k damage with critical hits. And obviously classic Wonder Woman is there as well, which means I'm getting additional boost to the critical attack damage. So this Black Manta right now has 500%, over 500% critical attack damage actually. So if you roll back to the beginning of the video, it shows like Black Manta has 460% critical attack damage, but because I have classic Wonder Woman, it's actually 520%. It caps off at 500%. So this Black Manta is dealing huge amount of damage, guys. It's definitely dealing huge amount of damage, and the way this particular scenario works is definitely very straightforward. You do the basic hits and that's it. So I'm not even doing an SP3 because it could make me miss the combo, and that's why just doing just the combo interruption with the basic hits and doing decent amount of damage. So Mr. Freeze and Black Manta are pretty much comparable in a lot of ways, and I would actually come up with a full comparison with Black Manta and Mr. Freeze soon as well. But here what we are seeing is Black Manta increases damage with the basic hits alone, and it's easier to maintain Black Manta's damage once you do the combo interruption. But this damage is consistent. That is, once you reach the 100 stacks and you do the combo interruption like here, you're going to maintain constant amount of damage. And remember this 530k hit as what I'm getting from the crits. But with Mr. Freeze, it's a different ball game altogether, because that damage that Mr. Freeze is going to do is going to depend on whether the opponent is frozen or not. That's going to increase the damage on frozen opponents. Although you still get an increased damage with, consuming the powers and the specials rather powers. Consuming power bars, basically you get increased damage as well. But we'll see how it works. So we got 120 plus million damage with Black Manta. Heads up, guys, complete garbage pip with Mr. Freeze, but we are gonna look at the basic damage that we were able to do with Mr. Freeze. And let's look at the stats for Mr. Freeze as well. So let's jump in, and here is Mr. Freeze. We have similar stats actually compared to Black Manta. This attack stat is a bit higher on Mr. Freeze. That's why I went with the team that I'm gonna show just in a while. So Mr. Freeze, like as you can see, critical attack damage is 444%, same fast attack chance, same critical attack chance almost, compared to Black Manta as well. And I have Vixen here because Vixen is gonna give me attack bonus, that is the damage bonus or whatever. Anyways, it's gonna give me bonuses, which was compensating similar to the way that we had Brainiac in the other team. So that's why even Bane is there. It increases the basic hit damage. So let's start off the battle and let's see where we head on with. And doing combo interruption is okay. So here, starting off with Mr. Freeze, doing combo interruption and trying to corner her, and once she's cornered, we are gonna do an SP2. So the SP2 is gonna be done here, And there we go. So we are doing an SP2 and we are not getting crits. And now we are getting crits. And let's look at the basic attack damage. So the problem here is, first of all, the combo interruption failed. I don't know why, but it did fail. And look at the basic hit damage that we are getting. It's into 8 at this point of time. And with the freeze kind of active, let's see, once the freeze is active, here the freeze is active, the swipe is dealing 226k damage, which is not huge, and it would increase to twice, actually. It would increase to twice, and bam, rest in peace Pip, basically. But let's look at the basic attack damage. That's what we are concentrating here to compare. So as you can see, it's 221k when, you know, this character is already frozen, and this is only into 12. As you can see, we have critical attack, power boost, into 3, you know, attack boost because of Vixen, and then into 12. So this into 12 can go into 30, which means this damage what you're seeing here gonna get multiplied by, you know, 2 or more than 2. So which means we are gonna get 440k odd, 460k odd damage. Black Manta was doing 530k, by the way, and the reason why Black Manta is slightly better compared to Mr. Freeze here is that Black Manta's damage, like I mentioned before, is gonna be consistent. So here, this 221 only takes place once, you know, Raven here is frozen, and once unfrozen, it drops drastically to 28,000, and this was blocked. So it's not a huge amount of damage. Guys. So Black Manta ideally is much better compared to Mr. Freeze when the character is kind of combo interruptible, immune to dot, and you want to use the Dark Metal Cards artifact to do damage. I feel Mr. Freeze is definitely better, but the one comparison I didn't do here at all is just to see, you know, Mr. Freeze doing damage with the SP3 alone. Okay, so that's a test that possibly we might do soon. Maybe use Mr. Freeze with, you know, doing damage only from the SP3s with the boost that he's getting as well. That could deal quite a lot of damage. So interesting comparison out here, but with the Beta Club though, it's a different ball game altogether. I feel Mr. Freeze is outright better with the Beta Club compared to, you know, Black Manta. Black Manta does require a lot of support, and that was horrendous amount of damage, guys. 13 million damage. That's a ridiculous amount of damage. Let's look at the last pip, and the last pip is with Justice League Flash as the damage dealer with the Dark Metal Cards artifact, and I have Justice League Cyborg and even Dr. Fate. Like, I didn't put Dr. Fate anywhere, so that's why I have Dr. Fate. So doing a combo interruption here and cornering her so that I can, you know, now tag in Justice League Cyborg. And I, you know, intentionally tagged in Justice League Cyborg because I have the Sword of Sin that would, you know, cause the power drain as well as reset the critical hit area. So now I have been able to reset the critical hit area with the tag in, and that means like I can just do a basic hit combo interruption, and we are getting over 150k damage with, you know, Justice League Flash, which is pretty great, pretty awesome stuff, I would say. Now, you know, again, Cyborg is trying to corner her, and once cornered, you know, it's basically Justice League Flash all the way, and while, you know, you kind of wait for the super move. So it's just basic hits right now. It's nothing interesting, nothing entertaining. I get the combos up to 300, 400 like that. So it's a very simple, straightforward pip. So just skipping to the end, and let's look at the damage. We have the damage from Justice League Flash with the Dark Metal Cards artifact, almost 500% critical attack damage. We get 123 million damage, which is at par with what we got with Black Manta, which is interesting, guys, which is definitely interesting. Black Manta usually will do more once, you know, have Brainiac with the lethal attack damage capabilities. Here it's not the case, so, you know, Black Manta and Justice League team is doing at par damage. And Freeze was a complete waste of time, especially with the way I played it. I should have gone for, you know, the SP3s out there instead of doing SP2, but only if we do an SP2 we get more damage from the basic hit. So from a basic hit comparison standpoint, Freeze is lacking quite a bit to Black Manta. It each has its uses. This is one without, you know, having the Beta Club. It's a completely free to play kind of a scenario. Yeah, less damage. You guys might, you know, abuse me. I don't know, guys. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already. This is your boy, the Average Gamer 98 over here, signing off. You guys take care, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.